We live in an era of unprecedented technological advancement. Every day, new technologies emerge, promising to make our lives easier and more connected. Cars are no longer just machines. They are sophisticated computers on wheels. These vehicles are equipped with advanced systems that can navigate, communicate, and even entertain. Telematics systems like OnStar, once a luxury, are now commonplace, promising a world of convenience and safety. They offer features like emergency assistance, vehicle diagnostics, and remote access. But this convenience comes at a price: our privacy. As we embrace these technologies, we often overlook the fine print and the implications of constant data collection. These systems, marketed as guardians of our safety, are capable of tracking our every move. They monitor our routes, destinations, and even the time we spend at each location. They know where we go, when we go there, and how fast we drive. This information is meticulously recorded and stored, creating a detailed log of our daily activities. This data, often collected without our explicit consent, paints a detailed picture of our lives, habits, and routines. It can be used to analyze our behavior and predict our future actions. Imagine a world where your car is constantly watching you, recording your conversations, and transmitting that information to unknown entities. This is not a distant dystopia, but a present reality. This is not science fiction. It is the reality of modern vehicles equipped with these always-on surveillance systems. They are designed to collect and transmit data continuously. The question we must ask ourselves is this: are we willing to sacrifice our privacy for a false sense of security and convenience? As we move forward, we must carefully consider the trade-offs and make informed decisions about the technologies we embrace. OnStar and similar systems like Starlink, BlueLink, and Nissan Connect are marketed as tools for safety and convenience. They offer features like emergency assistance, stolen vehicle tracking, and remote unlocking. However, beneath this veneer of helpfulness lies a sophisticated data collection apparatus. These systems collect a vast amount of data about our driving habits and location. This includes our speed, braking patterns, acceleration, and even the routes we take. In addition to this driving data, some systems can also record our conversations inside the vehicle. This data is not only stored but also transmitted to the companies that manufacture these systems. What they do with this data and who they share it with remains largely unknown. The lack of transparency and control over our own data is deeply concerning. We are essentially driving around in digital glass houses, our every move monitored and recorded. The data collected by these vehicle telematics systems is not just used for marketing purposes. It has far-reaching implications that many drivers are unaware of. Law enforcement agencies have been using this data for years to investigate crimes and even issue traffic tickets. This data can provide a detailed account of a vehicle's movements, speed, and even driving habits. In one case, police used data from a suspect's OnStar system to track his movements and eventually apprehend him. This kind of surveillance can be done without the suspect's knowledge, raising questions about consent and transparency. In another instance, a driver was issued a speeding ticket based on data collected by his car's telematics system, even though he was never pulled over. This shows how telematics data can be used to enforce laws in new and unprecedented ways. The use of this data by law enforcement raises serious concerns about privacy violations. Many people are unaware that their driving data can be accessed and used against them in this manner. The Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable searches and seizures, yet the warrantless access to this data by law enforcement agencies seems to directly contradict this fundamental right. This has sparked a debate about the balance between security and privacy. The increasing reliance on vehicle telematics data by law enforcement agencies sets a dangerous precedent. It could lead to more invasive forms of surveillance in the future. It normalizes surveillance and erodes our right to privacy, turning our cars into potential tools for mass surveillance. As technology advances, the need for clear regulations and protections becomes even more critical. Many people believe they can simply opt out of these data collection practices by declining the service or disconnecting certain features. However, the reality is far more complex. Even if you decline the service, the data collection hardware may still be active in your vehicle, silently recording your every move. Furthermore, some manufacturers have made it difficult or impossible to completely disable these systems. even for those who are aware of the privacy implications. This lack of control over our own data is unacceptable. We have the right to know what data is being collected about us, how it is being used, and who it is being shared with. The current system, where we are forced to surrender our privacy in exchange for the convenience of modern technology, is unsustainable and unjust. Section 5. Electric dreams, digital chains. The push towards electric vehicles, while presented as a solution to climate change, further exacerbates the issue of data privacy. Electric vehicles, by their very nature, are more reliant on software and connectivity than their gas-powered counterparts. This increased reliance on technology makes it easier for manufacturers to collect and transmit data about our driving habits and location. Moreover, the widespread adoption of kill switches in electric vehicles raises further concerns about control and surveillance. Kill switches, originally intended as an anti-theft measure, can remotely disable a vehicle, essentially stranding the driver wherever they are. While proponents argue that kill switches enhance safety and prevent theft, they also represent a significant threat to our freedom of movement. Section 6. The rise of 15-minute cities, utopia or dystopia. The concept of 15-minute cities, where residents can access all essential services within a 15-minute walk or bike ride, has gained significant traction in recent years. This urban planning model aims to create more sustainable, livable, and community-focused environments by reducing the need for long commutes and encouraging local living. While this concept has its merits, such as reducing traffic congestion and lowering carbon emissions, it also raises concerns about potential restrictions on personal freedom and movement. Some worry that it could lead to a form of urban confinement, where residents feel trapped within their designated zones. When combined with the data collection capabilities of modern vehicles and the widespread adoption of kill switches, the 15-minute city concept takes on a more sinister tone. These technologies could be used to monitor and control residents' movements, raising significant privacy and ethical concerns. Critics argue that these technologies, in the wrong hands, could be used to restrict movement beyond designated zones, potentially limiting travel based on factors like carbon footprint or compliance with government regulations. This could lead to a dystopian scenario where freedom of movement is severely curtailed. While the idea of a 15-minute city might seem appealing on the surface, offering a vision of convenience and sustainability, we must be wary of the potential for these technologies to be used for purposes beyond their intended scope. Vigilance and robust safeguards are essential to ensure that the benefits of this urban model are not overshadowed by its risks. Section 7. The power of big data, corporate interests, and the erosion of privacy. The vast amounts of data collected by vehicle telematics systems are not just valuable to law enforcement agencies, they are also a goldmine for corporations. This data can be used to target consumers with personalized advertising, manipulate pricing, and even influence our behavior. Insurance companies, for example, are increasingly using telematics data to set premiums. Drivers who exhibit risky driving habits based on the data collected by their vehicles may be charged higher premiums, while those deemed safe drivers may receive discounts. This use of personal data to determine insurance rates raises concerns about fairness and discrimination. It creates a system where our insurance premiums are no longer based on our driving record, but on our perceived risk profile, as determined by algorithms that lack transparency and accountability. Section 8. The fight for our digital rights on the open road. The erosion of privacy in the age of connected vehicles is a serious issue that demands our attention. We must resist the normalization of surveillance and fight for our right to privacy, both on and off the road. Several organizations and individuals are working tirelessly to raise awareness about these issues and advocate for stronger privacy protections. Legislators are beginning to introduce bills that aim to regulate the collection and use of vehicle telematics data. However, these efforts are often met with resistance from powerful corporations that profit from the unchecked collection and monetization of our personal data. It is imperative that we support organizations and individuals fighting for our digital rights. We must demand transparency from companies that collect our data and hold them accountable for any privacy violations. Section 9. Reclaiming our privacy. A call to action. The fight for privacy in the age of connected vehicles is a fight for our fundamental rights. It is a fight against corporate greed and government overreach. It is a fight that we cannot afford to lose. We must educate ourselves and others about the privacy implications of vehicle telematics systems. We must demand greater transparency and control over our data, and we must hold corporations and governments accountable for any violations of our privacy. The future of our privacy depends on our willingness to resist the encroachment of surveillance technologies into our lives. We must reclaim our right to privacy, not just in our homes, but also on the open road. Let us not allow convenience and technological advancement to come at the cost of our fundamental freedoms. The time to act is now.